Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. I am currently on location at the Gamers Ranch, which is basically a hotspot for board game nerds. This place has over 2,000 games, which you can see in racks and racks behind me. It has a lake, disc golf, tables upon tables, about 20 rooms for people to hang out. Me and a few industry friends came down here for the weekend to spend some time, reconnect, and of course, play some board games. And while I was here, I happened to stumble across a gamer's personal collection. You see, the owner of the ranch, this is all of his personal games, and I found a game, or at least a version of a game, that is almost impossible to get your hands on now. War of the Ring, based on Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien, 2nd edition, anniversary release. Only 2,000 copies of this game were ever made. This is a collector's edition, with full painted miniatures and a few upgraded components. The experience of unboxing this is going to be one for the books. And I thought it would be something fun and exciting to show off, because right now, if you want a copy of this, you're going to be paying $3,000, anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000, and that is if and when they're available. For those of you that aren't aware, this is going to be the scaled up, upgraded version of this well-known title, War of the Ring, which is a 2-player head-to-head war game. You're talking 2 to 3 hours of tactical maneuvering, guard play, dice management, and of course, an escalating tension system as one person controlling the nefarious troops of Mordor march into the realms of man and the realms of the good folk, and the people playing as the collection of mercenaries, the Fellowship of the Ring, march their way towards Mordor, doing their very best to either win by taking the most control and scoring the most points, or dropping the ring and finally sealing the fate of Sauron for, well, all of eternity. This game is going to pair and pit players together in an extended head-to-head combat, and one of the most comparable games to it is going to be Star Wars Rebellion, another epic galactic skirmish fantasy game. So War of the Rings. Let's go ahead and start this off. First off, a very thick, very respectable box lid. I can almost hear myself echo inside of it, which isn't good because we're already in a space that has a bit of an echo. We have this cloth-covered magnetic lid. Oh, and I'll spin this out towards you, and then we start getting to the good stuff. So, we are now full-fledged into the unboxing of this title, and I am familiar enough with War of the Ring to talk a bit about what we're going to be pulling out, just like any of our unboxings. So first off, we have a little tuck bag here, which are going to be full of all the bits, pieces, components, tiles, everything you need to play, including the famed Eye of Sauron, which slowly marches your doom. Tuck these all back into the bag, and we'll continue opening it up. So, I'll set this tray off to the side, and I'll go ahead and slide off the top of this one here. In here, we're going to have another cloth-lined book and a set of hardcover anniversary releases, rule books, game rules, and a companion. Now, I did sit down with this and read through for a little bit, but I figured I'd flash through and show off some of the incredible artwork, preparing for the war here. Everywhere he looked, he saw the signs of war. The misty mountains were crawling like anthills. Orcs were issuing out 1,000 holes. Under the boughs of the Mirkwood, there was a deadly strife of elves and men and fell beasts. The land of the Borings was aflame. A cloud was over Moria. Smoke rose on the borders of Lorien. Horsemen were galloping on the grasslands of Rohirrim. Wolves poured from Isengard. From the havens of horde ships of war poured out to sea, and out of the east men were moving endlessly. Swordsmen, spearmen, bowmen upon horses, chariot of chieftains and laden wains, and all the power of the Dark Lord was in motion. Fellowship of the Ring, Book 2. So I flashed through this on my own. This is going to show off all of the components, bits, pieces, upgraded. You can tell this has been taken care of. Some really nice artwork spread throughout the pages here. I don't think the rules had any updates or significant changes. Honestly, I just like the production quality, the attention to detail, and of course, the bits and pieces and flashes of artwork that you get to see along the way. So, that is going to be the rulebook, and we have the companion here as well, which is really just going to be a bit of a player aid. So this opens up a bit more flavor text. "But how is this?" asked Eormor. "All is vain, you say. If he has the ring, why should he think it not in vain to assail us, if we have it?" "He is not yet sure," said Gandalf, "and he has not built up his power by waiting until his enemies are secure, as we have done. Also, we could not learn how to wield the full power all in a day. Indeed, it can be used only by one master alone, not by many, and he will look for a time of strife, ere on one of the great among us to make himself master and put down the others. In that time the ring might aid him, if he were sudden. He is watching, he sees much and hears much. His Nazgul are still abroad. They passed over this field ere the sunrise, though few of the weary and sleeping were aware of them. He studies the signs, the sword that robbed him of his treasure remade, the winds of fortune turning in our favor, and the defeat unlooked for of his first assault, the fall of the great captain. His doubt will be growing. Even as we speak here, his eye is now straining towards us, blind almost to all else that is moving. So we must keep it. Therein lies all our hope. This, then, is my counsel. We have not the ring. In wisdom or great folly, it has been sent away to be destroyed, lest it destroy us. Without it, we cannot by force defeat his force. But we must, at all cost, keep his eyes from his true peril. We cannot achieve victory by arms, but by arms we can give the Ringbearer his only chance, frail though it be. So good. So, we're going to be working through here, talking through design challenges, labor of love, the guide. This is a really, really cool venture into sort of the art and thought process behind design here. Essential Strategies is going to break down the theaters of war, which is going to be the realms that you're going to be fighting in, and sort of the idea behind each one of the groups. The Free Peoples, the Shadow, Ronin, the Misty Mountains, and how, as designers or developers, approach these locations and approach fighting with them. We have companions, how you might utilize them, servants of the shadow, strategy tips, the quest of the fellowship, keep moving. It seems like a good strategy tip there. Plotting the route, deciding what journey you're going to take to Minas Morgul. You have the hunt for the ring, balancing your strategy. This is just a really, really cool companion to read through and understand and start exploring the nature of the game and really get almost like an insider's look into what you should be doing, what you might be doing. For people who like, advanced or behind-the-scenes knowledge, this is a really, really helpful companion. Defending against a Free People's military victory. Unusual openings in the War of the Ring. Sort of like a chess strategy guide. Sending your armies into battle. Complete hit and stat charts. Event and combat cards. Breaking down the different odds and statistics when it comes to the different events that you'll be drawing. And all the way, lots of thought, lots of care, and of course, a ton of just beautiful artwork, which is really the stuff that I love pausing on. Ooh! And a glossary in the back here. So, there we have it. There's the companion. I sort of want to sit down and read this and translate it all into video form, but maybe that'll be for another day. Now, this is going to be where the game starts to shine. In the original, you're not going to have these hand-painted custom miniatures, and I wish I could do these justice, but first off, we have very nice, slightly weighted, high-quality dice. And these dice are going to be what you're rolling in order to take actions. Each one, if it has the Eye of Sauron, will be locked and loaded, continuing pushing, you to being discovered, and all the others are going to be triggering actions both for you and for your opponent. You have armies that are able to move. You're able to split off factions of the Fellowship and kind of divide them to aid the war effort. You're able to continue progressing and moving your, Ringbearer towards the keep, towards the volcano. And you're also going to be using these cards here to draw up and take actions throughout the course of the game. Now, these are actually going to be exactly the same as the production copy as far as I'm aware, so nothing too fancy when it comes to these. These are going to be the cards that you use to take actions. I will go alone, Mirror of Gadriel, We Prove, the Swifter, and card play here is going to be a really, really interesting part of the game. It's going to be a really core and essential part to how do you approach it, especially getting in some of your high-end aids here, like Gandalf the Grey or the White, Aragorn, and all of your other Fellowship of the Ring characters. Now, the cool thing about this, and one of the standout features about this, is every single mini is fully pre-painted, hand-painted, custom, and we're going to be doing some B-roll of this, which I'm sure you've already seen, because it really is the only way to show off all of these little elements, but this is what turns a game into a $3,000 collector's edition. All of these organizing trays, and every single one is containing a fairly well-detailed, for a production copy, a production sample of pre-painted minis, 2,000 copies were made, and I gotta be honest, you could do a little bit better. You could add a wash. You, of course, could be more detailed yourself, but for something that you're ordering just to get to the table, this is really, really well done. I would be perfectly happy playing with every single one of these bits and pieces. So we have this board full of all the Fellowship characters, and then of course here we're going to dive into all of the orcs. We have the elephants marching down. I think they're called elephants, I suppose so. Orc riders on the big old wolves there. This looks so good. Big old bruisers here. And I like the organizing trace because I can keep these all set off to the side. And then down here in the very bottom, we have a few tokens that were never punched. We have a big old reference sheet showing everything that you should have in the top of it. A poster here on the back. A nice big piece of artwork here with a display of the art and components. Another one here, and another one here. Each of these have on the back of them a full roster of all the components fully painted that you got in the game. And then down here on the very bottom, I think this is honestly exactly the same as the production copy. I'd have to double check on that. And maybe it's not because of the embossed elements here. But for the most part, this gigantic map the only thing I'm not 100% sure of is the size and scale. But for the most part, I think this gigantic map is going to be pretty much the same as what you'd get in the base copy of the game. But of course, this one is not the base copy. And the last little bit here, which, once again, is going to be the other half of the map. So, there you have it. What do you think? Thoughts, opinions? Is this game worth $3,000? Certificate of Authenticity. This document certifies the authenticity of the accompanying War of the Rings 2nd edition anniversary release. It has been manufactured in limited edition of 2,000 copies worldwide. This is copy 339. So, yeah, there you have it. Thoughts, opinions, should I get this game to the table sometime soon? And do you like this game enough, and would you invest so much to own a historic copy of a incredibly beloved and popular title? Either way, I'm going to carefully pack this all back into where it belongs and continue filming videos here. It's been a fantastic weekend, and we have a few more titles I want to show off. So, I'll see you next time.